Shawn "Mr. Gold" Pomrenke, his sister Pam, and their buddy Ricky took a massive swing for the fences. They poured their hearts, souls, and a jaw-dropping $800,000 into reviving the Myrtle Irene, a dredge that was once a rusty relic but is now a beast of a machine. On its very first night, it didn't just scrape up some gold, it clawed its way to a gold-packed clay layer that other rigs couldn't even dream of touching. This isn't just digging, it's striking it rich in a way that'll make your jaw drop. The Myrtle Irene, now a powerhouse, tore through the ocean floor like a war machine, hauling up heavy gold-laden pay dirt that no other dredge could handle. And when it hit a vein so rich it nearly knocked Dave off his feet, you know it's big. Something wild got caught in the sluice box. Tune in to see what it is. Shawn didn't just dip his toes in this time. He dove in head first, betting nearly every penny he could scrape together on this gamble. Months of grinding, shady deals, and endless fixes led to this moment. The Myrtle Irene, rebuilt from the ground up, hit the water for its first real test. This wasn't a warm-up. It was do or die. With $800,000 sunk into the dredge, plus $1 million still owed on the Tom Codley, and a $1.5 million handshake deal with his dad to buy the family business, Shawn's got the weight of the world on his shoulders. One simple 5-page contract, one massive risk. And the Myrtle? It's not just patched up. It's a whole new animal. Shawn lowered the wash plant to let the excavator dig deeper and added a second sluice box to catch every speck of that fine gold. This machine was built to dig, prayed to run, and now it's striking gold like never before. Will it make Shawn a legend or break him for good? You don't want to miss this. The Myrtle Irene wasn't just thrown together. It was a labor of love, every nut, bolt, and bucket carefully tweaked and tested for one epic goal: to yank as much gold as possible from the ocean's depths. On its first night, Shawn Pomrenke steered the crew to one of his secret hotspots, a place others had only scratched at. But the Myrtle, it could dive past 30 feet, deeper than any other rig could go, straight to where the real gold hides. This was the kind of spot that could turn a rough season into a jackpot in just a few days. They rolled up, got everything lined up, and fired up the pumps. The night roared with the growl of diesel engines and the rush of water. No partying, no fist bumps, just pure focus. Shawn was all eyes, locked in. The first scoop plunged into the seafloor and came up loaded with chunky cobble. Not just any rocks, the kind that scream, "Gold's close!" The crew's hearts raced. Minutes stretched into hours, the cold night biting, but the dredge was on fire, tearing through the ocean floor. Then it happened. The bucket hit a thick, sticky layer of clay, the gold-trapping stuff Shawn had been dreaming of. The Myrtle ripped through it like it was butter, scoop after scoop. Gold started sparkling in the sluice boxes. Water rushed through, pushing pay dirt over the mats, and the crew didn't need a memo to know they'd struck it big. The way the water danced, the gravel rumbled, and the glint in the box told the story. It was real. This was the Myrtle's first dance with the ocean, untested under pressure. Most rigs like this would have crumbled, leaks, clogs, or belts burning out. But not Shawn's beast. It purred like a dream, pumps clean, hoses tight, no breakdowns. He darted around, checking every valve, every tray, wired from months of planning, sleepless nights, and napkin sketches. Every bolt on that dredge had a story, every line double-checked. This wasn't just a machine, it was a mission. Halfway through the shift, Dave peeked into the top sluice. Loose gravel, smooth flow, clear mats. Everything was perfect. The Myrtle Irene wasn't just working, it was rewriting what a dredge could do. This was Shawn's vision coming to life, one golden scoop at a time. The moment of truth hit like a lightning bolt. Dave's eyes locked onto the sluice box, and there it was. Gold. Not a tease, not a maybe, but the real deal, gleaming right in the middle of the box. It wasn't a mountain of it, but it was enough to make hearts race and prove the Myrtle Irene was doing exactly what it was born to do. The crew didn't pause to celebrate. They just kept digging, laser-focused, slicing through the seabed with clean, relentless precision. No breaks, no hiccups, just pure hustle. When they finished one cut, they didn't mess around. They shifted the dredge forward, dropped back in, and kept the beast roaring. No dragging chains, no weak hoses, just raw power. Shawn was a man possessed, pacing the deck, eyeballing every connection, peeking into every chute. This was the Myrtle's first real fight, and it was tearing through the ocean floor like it owned it. For hours it ran like a dream. No leaks, no pressure drops, no panic. Just gold hunting perfection. As the sun peeked over the horizon, the Myrtle was still going strong, pulling in pay dirt and trapping gold. Dave, who'd been skeptical, was now grinning like he'd just fallen in love with the sluice box. He'd seen plenty of first nights, but none like this. Those wide, deep sluice boxes were built to snag every last flake, and even with just a few specks shining, the crew knew this was only the beginning. There was a whole lot more gold waiting below. In just one night, one full cut, the Myrtle proved itself. All those late nights in the shop, the endless phone calls, the mountain of money, the stress, it was all worth it. The next step was simple: reposition, dive back in, and keep going. This wasn't luck. It was grit piled on grit. Welding until dawn, wrenching in the rain, sketching plans on scraps of wood. Shawn had turned the Myrtle into a lean, mean, gold-grabbing machine, and it roared to life on its very first night. The crew knew it now. The machine worked, the plan worked, and the dream was real. Under dark skies and crashing waves, the Myrtle Irene kicked off something huge. Shawn stood on the deck, water spraying, dirt flying, gold sparkling. One night in, and his $800,000 gamble was already paying off. This was the kind of big that could make a season or break it. And they were just getting started. Shawn Pomrenke's living by a simple mantra: dig, catch, repeat. But even after the Myrtle Irene's killer first night, the road ahead is anything but smooth. His biggest gamble yet is staring him down, and there's no safety net, no loans, no backup, just gold. 2 miles off the coast, the pressure's dialed up to 11, and the season's shaping up to be a monster. Shawn's not just testing the waters, he's already in deep. This winter, while others hunkered down, Shawn went all in. He snagged a massive 1,000-acre gold claim called Tom Cod for a cool $1.5 million. No grace period, no wiggle room. If he misses a payment, the claim slips away, ready for the next dreamer to scoop it up. To hold on to it, Shawn's got a 3-pronged plan, and it's as bold as it gets. First, he's running the Christine Rose, his trusty dredge, from sunup to sundown and straight through the night. No half measures, just ripping as much gold-packed pay dirt from the seabed as possible. With the gold market sizzling, now's the time to cash in. Tom Cod isn't just big, it's a proven gold mine. Winter wasn't wasted. Drill logs pinpointed a hidden gem, an ancient riverbed slicing through the claim like a secret highway stuffed with chunky gold. One drill hole alone pulled up over 900 grams of the shiny stuff. If the data's right, this could be one of the richest patches around. But here's the hitch. The Christine Rose's arm only reaches 19 feet down, and that riverbed's buried closer to 30. To hit it, Shawn's hunting for the deer, a spot where the riverbed rises just enough to meet the dredge's grasp. Using beach markers and old data, he's charted a path. If his guess is on point, the nozzle will strike untouched pay dirt, the kind that's been waiting for who knows how long. The second piece of the puzzle is the family's inland mine. Shawn's not content to just run it. He wants to own it outright. That means buying out his dad and taking the reins completely. It's a high-stakes move to cement his legacy, but with the Tom Cod payments looming and the Christine Rose pushing its limits, every scoop of gold counts. Shawn's steering straight into the chaos, and this season's about to show if his big bets will pay off or sink him. Shawn Pomrenke's chasing total control, no more shared calls, no waiting for someone else's green light. Owning the family's inland mine means steady gold, not as dazzling as the ocean halls, but reliable. And right now, reliable is pure gold. But his boldest play yet is eyeing a game-changer parked on shore. The Myrtle, a beastly dredge with untapped power, just sitting there under Dave Young's name. For months, Dave's been cruising past the Myrtle, dreaming of what it could do. Shawn's vision. Take it over, fix it up, and unleash it to outmine the Christine Rose by a mile. On a hot streak, the Christine Rose might pull $300,000 in gold. The Myrtle, if tuned right, could rake in close to $1 million, a leap that could turn a shaky season into a legendary one. The pitch is to get Dave to share the keys, let Shawn's crew revamp it, and then hit the untouched seabed with the biggest rig in the Bering Sea. Dave didn't say no. He asked for a solid plan, leaving the door cracked just enough for Shawn to dream big. But nothing's easy. The Tom Cod claims $1.5 million price tag still looms, with payments due. The inland mine won't buy itself. And the Myrtle, it's not even Shawn's yet. It's all connected like a high-stakes house of cards. If one part falls, the whole plan teeters. Every scoop, every hour, every ounce of gold matters. Back at Tom Cod, those winter drill logs are Shawn's treasure map, tracing an ancient riverbed loaded with gold. He's zeroed in on where it starts, near the beach's dip, hoping it's shallow enough for the Christine Rose's 19-foot reach. The signs are electric. That 900-gram drill hole was no fluke, with other holes showing gold in every layer, especially down near 30 feet. If he nails the spot, it's jackpot city. If it's too deep, it's lost time and money. With the clock ticking and the stakes sky high, Shawn's betting everything on striking gold, fast and heavy. Out on the Bering Sea, Shawn Pomrenke's chasing a dream that's all about chunky, ancient river gold. Not just flakes or dust, but the real heavy stuff. Aboard the Christine Rose, the crew's feeling the heat. Every shift's a marathon, machines humming non-stop, maintenance dialed in tight. A single breakdown could cost thousands, so every scoop of gravel through the sluice is handled like it's pure cash. One slip, and it's money gone. On shore, the inland mine's a different vibe, quiet but steady, churning out volume over flash. Dump trucks roll like clockwork, wash plants growl, and the shallower ground keeps the gold piling up. It's not as sexy as the offshore hauls, but it's a safety net. Together, the sea and land ops could keep Shawn afloat, if both hold strong. If one stumbles, the other feels the squeeze. Then there's the Myrtle, still parked, still a wild card. Shawn's team is crafting a killer pitch for Dave Young, not some back-of-a-napkin doodle, but legit diagrams, mod plans, and equipment lists to win him over. If Dave bites, the Myrtle could change everything. Bigger digs, deeper cuts, more gold, less waste. It could turn the season from risky to record-breaking overnight. But first, Shawn's got bills to pay. The $1.5 million Tom Cod claims payment is looming. Miss it, and those 1,000 acres vanish. The inland mine deal's still on hold, and the Myrtle's just a maybe. With time running out, Shawn's going all in, throwing every ounce of grit into one final push. Flashback to 3 weeks ago. The Myrtle Irene was a rusted wreck, dead in the water, written off as junk by most. But Shawn saw a diamond in the rough. He sank $350,000 of his own cash, no loans, pure belief, into rebuilding it. Meanwhile, the Christine Rose kept the gold flowing, buckets diving in, pulling up pay dirt, sluices snagging gold like clockwork, all under his second-in-command's steady hand. But the Myrtle was a mess before the rebuild. Its wash plant sat too high, blinding the operator. The flow was all wrong, letting fine gold slip through the sluice and back into the sea. It was a sloppy setup, and fixing it took more than a few wrenches. It took vision. Now, with the Tom Cod payment closing in and Shawn's dream of owning the shoreline on the line, every move's a gamble. He's got 3 weeks to turn rust into gold and make it all pay off. Turning the Myrtle Irene from a rusty heap into a gold-grabbing beast was no small feat. It meant tearing it down to bare steel and rebuilding it smarter. Step 1. They dropped the wash plant lower so the operator could actually see where the dirt was going. Then they swapped out the weak pump for a powerhouse that could handle the job. The game changer? Adding a second sluice box to trap even the tiniest gold flakes. Every detail, water flow, speed, angle, had to be perfect. One wrong move and the gold would slip away. The Myrtle was a mess, but Shawn's crew hustled like their lives depended on it. They didn't have months, just 3 weeks to get it floating and digging. That was the deal, and Shawn's partner wasn't here for excuses. He wanted results. Miss the deadline and the season, and all that $350,000 Shawn poured in was toast. To seal the deal, Shawn brought his partner to the boatyard for a no-BS tour. From the excavator's cab, you could now see straight into the wash plant. Dirt would get blasted with water, flow through the sluices, and stay put. The whole system was cleaned up, ready to deliver. Back in the day, the Myrtle was a gold-losing disaster, washing away 50 to 60% of the good stuff. Now, with the extra sluice and tighter water control, those days were over. The trays were already flashing that telltale yellow glow. Real gold, caught thanks to smart tweaks, precision, and solid gear. Shawn's partner didn't just want a boat that floated. He wanted a rig that could outshine the Christine Rose, the gold standard of dredges. Tough challenge, but Shawn had built the Christine himself. He knew the playbook and was thinking bigger. The Myrtle's bucket was a monster, 5 times bigger than the Christine's, scooping 5 times the dirt in one go. More dirt, more gold. No poking around in small patches. This beast was built to plow straight into the heavy, gold-packed sand in the bay, piling up pay dirt scoop by scoop. But the clock was merciless. The pressure was crushing, and the launch date was non-negotiable. Shawn didn't borrow a dime for this. He bet his own money. If the Myrtle flopped, he'd feel every lost dollar. With time slipping away, it was now or never to get this rig in the water and prove it could rewrite the season. Day by day, the Myrtle Irene transformed from a worn-out relic into a lean, mean gold-hunting machine. Welders sparked, builders sliced through hoses and frames, and with every cut, the rig shed its old skin. It wasn't just a facelift, it was starting to look like a serious contender, sharp and ready to dominate. Here's how it works. Dirt from the seabed dumps into the hopper, where high-powered water blasts it apart. The lighter sand gets swept away while the heavier gold stays behind. The first sluice snags the big chunks, and the second one grabs the fine flakes. Every part has a job, no fluff, just purpose. It's all about precision, the right amount of water, the perfect speed for the dirt, and sluices set at just the right angle. Too fast and the gold slips away. Too slow and you're wasting time. On the Christine Rose, Shawn's got this down to a science. Every bucket's dirt measured, water flow tweaked by the second, sluices long enough to trap it all. The Myrtle had to match that, just on a bigger scale. And the rebuild nailed it. Before, cleanups showed nothing. Now the mats were sparkling with gold. That's what Shawn's partner needed. Not promises, but proof you could see. Every piece clicked into place. A rebuilt frame, rock-solid pumps, perfectly angled sluices, clean lines, and water pushing like a champ. The Myrtle went from a laughingstock to a gold-sucking beast. That massive bucket, 5 times bigger than the Christine's, wasn't just for looks. It could devour the bay, scoop by scoop, hitting the heavy gold-packed sand no one else could touch. Shawn doesn't do shortcuts. He built the Christine Rose into a legend, and now the Myrtle was shaping up to be his next masterpiece. But is the Myrtle a genius move or a risky overreach? Will it rewrite the game or fizzle out? The stakes are sky high, and Shawn's betting it all on this rig to deliver. Want more real mining stories like this? Like the video, drop a comment, and subscribe to keep up with the action.